Have you ever felt as if the purpose of your life was slipping through your fingers? I felt this every day. A constant emptiness, as if something essential was missing. Maybe you also feel or still see gaps in your path. Know that you are not alone. Today, we will embark on a journey that will change the way you see your life. No matter what social class you are from or what you have experienced so far, you will recover your true divine identity and understand, once and for all, the purpose that God dreamed for you. This video will cover 4 themes that will guide you to find your flow point in the universe. First, I will show you why you have difficulty finding your purpose. Then we will talk about the big lie that has been told to you since you were born and that you need to tear down this wall. And then I will show you the plans that God dreamed for you and your true identity. And finally, we will show you the Law of Dharma and how you can apply the dream that God dreamed for you in a lighter way and without pressure, focusing on your own divine essence. You feel so much difficulty in finding your purpose because you have been trying to give meaning to your existence in the wrong way based on the values and culture of that time, and without activating your divine identity. Stop now and look around you. What do you see? Right in front of you is a cell phone or a computer or some screen, where a simulated reality passes by, and you have let yourself be guided by it. You even stop socializing and living real life to stare at a screen, and it dominates you, shows your narratives, implants beliefs in you daily, making it impossible for you to look inside yourself and discover who you really are. The culture that follows the trends implemented by people with dubious purpose, makes you dress, eat, and think according to the masses, has lately led people to behave like dogs and walk with collars around their necks. And believe it or not, there are people that give a course on how to behave like a dog, and they want to call this culture. So culture has the power to dominate the masses. It puts human beings in a little box and says what behaviors are accepted and followed in that little box. And if you want to be accepted within this box, you will have to surrender and accept this collar and man's ignorance of not knowing his true divine identity and his purpose in life makes him subject to such behaviors. We are conditioned to be precocious. And social networks play a fundamental role in this. They lead us to believe in false successes. We see young millionaires at 16 and we ask ourselves, what's wrong with me? But these comparisons forget the real stories behind, often full of sacrifices or a complete illusion. Today we will understand the real reason why we find ourselves so lost and the greatest truth that exists. Your purpose is not lost. It is within you, waiting to be lived now. Stop for a moment, breathe and ask yourself, what's the next step I can take today? You just need to accept it. Open your mind and reflect. Have you ever stopped to question the way time controls your life? We live trapped in a concept of time that says, time is money. But what if this was just an imposed idea and not a truth? This is exactly what the culture of peace, founded by artist Nicholas Roerich, and its origin is linked to the Roerich Pact, supported by several experts on the subject for its formulation, such as physicist Albert Einstein, and embraced by galactic culture, which are the guardians of time. We live in a phantom timeless matrix called 12 of 60. This mental program matrix was established in the Babylonian era, and it factors time in the following way. Time equals money. In other words, if time is equal to money, then who owns your time and owns your mind? And today, this matrix has its secondary programs running in society. And what are the programs? The technosphere is part of this: politics, the media is a program, education the social system, socialism is a program, capitalism is a program, money is part of it, and we can even say that religion is part of it. Everything that limits man and places labels is part of this artificial matrix, and all secondary programming that runs on mainstream indoctrinating channels, that is, in the mass media, TV programs, films, advertising, music, culture, and everything else follows this main program, and this has been passed on from generation to generation, placing the human being labels, like you need a profession, you need to graduate, you need to go to college, You need to be someone in life. Well, I believe that we are all born being someone in life, and the next topic will make this very clear. Now that we understand how disconnection affects us, think, what if this restlessness, this feeling that you belong to something bigger, isn't just a random thought, but a call to remember who you really are? You are not a human being who sometimes has spiritual experiences. You are a spiritual being who sometimes has human experiences. You just need to be aware of it and feel it and believe it. This lie, it crosses generations, so subtle that we often don't even notice its impact. Who profits from your disconnection and doubt about who you really are? Who profits from your attention? What are the great revolutions that occurred over the centuries and transformed society? The industrial revolutions, digital revolution, social revolutions. Although imperceptible, sometimes not so much, the image of men and women has been distorted. The woman represents the creator, the wisest of her species, the man the strongest, the patriarch who gives his life to protect his queen. A complete the other depends on the other, and each of these two poles plays its role in the creation of life. A man will never be more delicate, more attentive, more sensitive than a woman, and a woman will never be able to withstand the pressure and brutality that a man would. And no, that doesn't mean that women are more fragile than men. Please don't misunderstand. If you think like that, that's perfectly normal because that's what the revolutions and the media did. Ancient stories and sacred texts speak of a time when man was whole, aware of his divine origin and his role in the universe. However, over time, we have been conditioned to forget this truth. This disconnection has been fueled by systems that teach us to compete, to live in fear, and to seek validation outside of ourselves. The external world has become the only mirror we know, reflecting only what we lack instead of what we already possess. Gains strength. It holds us hostage of an endless search. Now, imagine the impact of this lie. A world full of people who live without purpose, believing their lives have no meaning. This is not just a fluke. It is a plan to keep us trapped in the idea that we are just cogs in a machine. But here's the truth. You were not created to survive, but to live fully. Within you, there is a divine flame that can never be extinguished, even if they try to convince you otherwise. The greatest lie in history is not about what you can or cannot do, but about who you really are, and you are the living expression of the divine. From the beginning, the human being was created with a greater purpose, a unique mission that reflects the divine plan. And to see this, we go to the oldest and most sacred book of humanity. In Genesis, we read, God created man in his own way. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Genesis 1 verse 27. This is not just a beautiful phrase, but a powerful statement. You are the bearer of the divine essence. God not only created you, but gave you the ability to create, transform, and govern with love and purpose. What does this mean? That your existence is not a fluke. It is part of something much bigger. But God went further. He blessed the man and said, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill and subdue the earth." Genesis 1 verse 28. Here is the essence of the divine plan. Abundance, prosperity, and expansion. It can only be activated when you recognize who you truly are, someone created in the image of the Creator, called to reflect that image in every aspect of your life. Well, now let's analyze these statements. If you are the image and likeness of God, that means you have the divine essence, because God does not have a human form or a physical form. He does not have a body with forms. He is incorruptible. And who is God? Good God is power, and power is energy. It is important that you fix this in your mind. God is pure energy. So if we possess his image and his likeness, we are power and energy. This power within you, or a part of it, because in the form we are in now we cannot concentrate such energy. Now that you understand who you are, I will show you your primary purpose, which was designated by the Creator shortly after your creation. Genesis 1 verse 26, Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, in our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, over the great beasts of all the earth, and over every small animal that moves along the ground, floor. What is it to rule over all things? You were created to reign. Nothing more worthy of the children of God than to be king, but king of what? You may be asking yourself, king of yourself, your emotions, your thoughts, your wills, your desires, reign over the earth. Then I ask you, do you look at yourself as a king or queen? Do you behave like a king, like a queen? Do you have the posture of a king, a queen? Are you noble? Now, ask yourself, what would your life be like if you lived according to this plan? The world tries to convince you that it is small, but God sees you as a central part of His creation. When you align yourself with the plan He dreamed up, you realize that everything around you takes on meaning, from the small everyday actions to the big challenges. You not only find your purpose, but you become the purpose in action, living as a living reflection of divine love and grace. God's plan for you is not just to survive and to flourish. Create and live in abundance as the ultimate expression of your divine identity. When you're working, the passing of the hours should sound like music from a flute. And what it means to work with love. It's like weaving a garment with threads that come from the heart, as if it were your loved one wearing it. Khalil Gibran, O Prophet. The word Dharma comes from Sanskrit and means purpose of life. According to the Law of Dharma, we take on a physical form to fulfill a purpose in life. The field of pure potentiality is divinity in essence. It is the divine taking on human form. To fulfill a purpose according to this law, you have a unique talent and a unique way of expressing it. Is there anything you can do better than everyone else? And for each unique talent in its unique way of expressing itself, there are specific needs. When these needs combine with the creative expression of your talent, the spark that creates wealth emerges. If you convey this thought to children, you will be able to see its effects. I did this with my children. Every now and then I said there was a reason they were here. And everyone would have to find out for themselves what that reason was. They have heard this since they were 4 years old. I also taught them how to meditate when they were around that age. I always told them, I don't want you to worry about making a lot of money if you're not capable of it when you grow up. Myself will provide for your support. So don't worry, I don't want your life's goal to be successful in school, or to get the best grades, or to attend the best colleges. But I want you to ask yourselves how you can discover your talent and serve humanity, because each of you has a unique talent that no one else has. And everyone has a way of expressing this talent that no one else has. The result is that they end up going to the best colleges and are unique in what makes them economically self-sufficient, because they are focused on what they came here to do. This, therefore, is the law of Dharma. In addition to Dharma, it has 3 components. The first is that we are here to find our true selves, to discover that our true self is spiritual, that we are essentially spiritual beings, expressed in a physical form. We need to discover for ourselves that we have within us an embryo of God, or God is eager to be born and express their divinity. The second component is that each human being has in his talent the unique peculiarity of expressing himself. No one plays like the player Lionel Messi. There are many players, but no one has the capacity for genius similar or equal to him. No one sings or dances like the iconic Elvis Presley. I could spend hours here citing names of ordinary people who followed their dreams despite adversity and difficulties. And everyone knows their stories. Messi was small. To be a player, he had to take medicine to develop your body. The third component, it is that we must serve humanity. To do this, we must ask the following questions. How can I help? When do you combine the ability to express your unique talent with benefit to humanity? You are making full use of the law of Dharma, adding the experience of your own spirituality to the field of pure potentiality. There is no way you can't have access to unlimited abundance, because this is the true way to obtain abundance, and it is not temporary abundance. She is permanent because of her unique talent, her specific way of expressing the benefits and dedication to her fellow human beings that she discovered by asking herself, how can I help rather than what will I get out of this? How to apply the law of Dharma in your life. By changing your inner dialogue, what do I get out of it? How can I help? Automatically you are moving beyond the ego and entering the realm of the spirit. While meditation is the best way to enter the realm of spirit, changing your inner dialogue to how can I help? It will also give him access to the realm of consciousness, where you experience your universality. Imagine for a moment that everything you sought outside, acceptance, purpose, fulfillment, was always inside you. What has changed is your vision. Now, with everything we've seen, you realize that there is nothing separate from you. The universe is not testing you, it is supporting you. This is the great revelation. You are not a small piece in the puzzle, you are the puzzle itself taking shape. It was just covered up by the beliefs and lies that the world tried to impose on you. Transformation happens the moment you accept the truth about who you are. Suddenly, the doubts, fears, and uncertainties begin to dissipate. It's like waking up from a long, confusing dream. You realize you have the power to create, transform, and live exactly the life that God dreamed for you. And this life does not need to be perfect or grand in the eyes of the world. It just needs to be authentic, aligned with your divine essence. Most sacred within you. Life's purpose is not a destination, it is a path. Every step you take with awareness and intention brings you closer to divine truth. When you live in alignment with that purpose, not only does your life change, but you become a light for everyone around you. This is true transformation, not something that happens from the outside in, but from the inside out. And from now on, you know, no matter where you are, you will never be lost, because you carry the compass of your divine identity. You don't need to find yourself, you just need to remember who you have always been, the living manifestation of God and His divine plan. Feeling this truth is like opening a window after years of being locked in a dark room. Fresh air comes in, and light fills every corner. You realize you've always been free, you just needed to see. I could talk about all the practices here that lead you to finding your purpose. In the Bible you will find the 10 Commandments, which when practiced have the power to transform your life. But I don't want to dwell here, although I am a Christian and a God-fearing man. I don't want to impose my beliefs on you, so I will speak in a way that will facilitate understanding and employs the same principles of love for others, which is what Jesus preached more than 2,000 years ago. If you want to make full use of the law of Dharma, you will have to make some commitments. The first is to look for your inner self, which is beyond the ego. This you achieve through spiritual practices. The second is to discover your unique talents, and when you find them, rejoice. Because the process of pleasure occurs when one enters timeless consciousness. This is when we are in a state of grace. The third commitment is to ask yourself how you can better serve humanity. You should simply say, I'm going to answer this question, and then put the answer into practice. I will use my unique talents to meet the needs of my fellow human beings. I will combine those needs with my desire to help and serve others, and then sit down and come up with a list of answers to these 2 questions. Ask if when money is no object and if you have all the world time, what would you do? If responder, would you continue doing what you do today? So you're already in your stride because you have a passion for what you do and are expressing your unique talents. Then ask yourself how to better serve humanity, answer the question and put the answer into practice. Discover your divinity, find your unique talent, use it to serve humanity, and you will generate all the wealth you want. The next step is simple but transformative. Start living your purpose now in the small things. Don't wait for big revelations or perfect moments. Every action, no matter how small it may seem, is an opportunity to express your divine essence. By practicing gratitude, by helping someone, or even by taking care of yourself, you are already manifesting God's plan. This is how purpose reveals itself, through the daily intention of living in harmony with who you really are. And as your inner being reveals itself, you will discover new ways to express your unique talents. Like a doctor who loves caring for people, after he achieves security and a state of grace, he will move on to the next stage of creation, that it is the desire to overflow your knowledge and passion to others. And so the universal wheel of life will never end. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. The entire universe conspires in your favor, and every step you take is supported by a greater force. Now, I invite you to take the first step. Choose a moment in your day to quiet your mind and ask, what can I do today to express my purpose? Trust the answer that comes, even if it seems small, because each act aligned with your essence is an act of divine creation. This is how you begin to live fully and transform not only your life, but the world around you. If this message touched your heart, like the video and share it with someone you believe also needs to hear it. This helps us a lot to spread this knowledge to more people who are suffering and need some light. And in the comments, tell me, what is the first step you will take today to live your purpose? Subscribe to our channel to continue this journey together. Here, we are a family, and our purpose is to overflow God's love in your life through knowledge in the lives of people who seek to grow, connect, and live the divine purpose. Let's create a movement for transformation, one step at a time. You are not alone. Every choice, every challenge, and every victory is part of something much bigger. Remember, you are God's plan in action, and the universe awaits the unique brilliance that only you can bring.